In October of 2023, a scandal shocked the fantasy football organization known as the Glen Lake Ballers like no other. This is a tale of loss, betrayal, anger, and finally, hope.
My name is Sujay Kester, and I will be your guide through this exclusive story. Welcome to the Trials of Ashwin. To begin our story, we must first ask the question, who is Ashwin?
Ashwin Rao Inala was born May 6, 1999 in Chicago, Illinois. He grew up as any ordinary teenager, dealing with the problems of school, friends, and early onset male pattern baldness. However, in 2014, he made a decision that would change his life forever.
Question for the press. Okay, I got it. Yeah, you have some time to do a quick interview with us?
Ashwin, could you tell us about the origin of the league?
Yeah, so the league started when we were in 7th grade. Mr. Williams was kind of getting on us. He called me the Don of the school table. Aditya was kind of bullying Akash and a third of us. So the morale was a little low. So we needed some sort of avenue, some sort of game that can boost our spirits after everyone coming after us. So I decided to start the GLB Fantasy Football League. So I was league manager for a couple of years, and the rest is history.
Do you have any regrets?
Absolutely.
Ashwin has finished dead last in 4 of the last 9 seasons. He has the lowest win percentage, total points, and playoff appearances in the league. Okay, it is January 1st, 2024, 10:57 a.m. I'm currently editing the video, and just last night, he's only gone and done it again. Ashwin, 5 times losing. Come on, lad. However, every year is a new chance for him, and he was excited that this year would finally be his. Ashwin, were you hopeful that this year would give you a chance to start fresh?
Yeah, absolutely. But something happened that caused that to change.
Week 4 was a big matchup for Ashwin. He was coming off a win with a 1-2 record, meaning a victory here would be big for morale. The only thing standing in his way was his opponent, Girish Ganesh. Ashwin was confident in his team though, and went to bed Saturday, September 30th, with sweet dreams of soundly defeating his competitor. However, when he awoke the morning of Sunday, October 1st, the real nightmare began.
Last minute kind of surprise inactive here for Deshaun Watson, who's not going to play with a right shoulder injury.
Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson will not play this week due to a shoulder contusion.
Deshaun Watson tried to give it a go. He worked out before the game, but it did not happen.
He was in a predicament. The only QB in his roster wouldn't be playing. Due to the newly established FAB rules of the league, he would not be able to pick one up from the waiver. How did it feel when you realized you wouldn't be able to start a QB in your matchup with Girish?
Wow, yeah. Man, you're taking me back. That was a very emotional day. I've known Girish since 4th, 5th grade. I remember picking him up from school, dropping him off at Davis Elementary and middle school. I remember during lunch especially, he would come in with the idlis and the sambar, and I could tell he didn't really like it, especially with the chutney, so I would always hit him up with tater tots and those cheese sticks with the marinara sauce and the chocolate milk. So I was hoping that he would remember what I've done for him and let me put in Deshaun, but unfortunately he didn't let me. But now looking back at the situation, it's a very competitive league. You gotta do what you gotta do to win. I kind of blame Brian for that, for kind of making a very toxic league, and low-key Akash as well. But now looking back, he's my boy, let it slide, but no hard feelings with Girish.
So you turned to the only man who could help you.
Yeah, I turned to Akash Satyamurthy Singh Krishna.
Akash S. Krishna is one of the league managers of the Glen Lake Ballers. Generally considered a fair and balanced LM, he is often asked to adjudicate in these sorts of complicated matters. This morning, Akash was on the green for a round of disc golf before the afternoon games. It was here that he received a distressed message from Ashwin. Akash, What did Ashwin ask you on the morning of October 1st?
Morning of October 1st, was busy at disc golf with my buddies before Ashwin panically texted me, "Yo, I need a QB right now. They just ruled Watson out." And being the fair and just league manager as I am, I looked back at our previous court cases at Wu versus Girish 2021, and I said, as long as your opponent approves, I can add anyone to your team. And that's where I've responded. If Girish says yes, I'll add him.
That's right. In an ironic twist, Ashwin would now be forced to rely on the mercy of his opponent if he were to stand a chance. His opponent, however, was anything but merciful. Dude, what are you doing? Get out of here.
Why did you decide not to allow Ashwin to pick up a QB before your game?
I think it's pretty simple. I am a man of very strict principles and very strict rules. And my personal rule, and what I believe, is that the game should be played how it's allowed to be played. So, unfortunately, if the rules don't allow Ashwin to pick up a quarterback in the morning, then I'm sorry. I sympathize with Ashwin a lot, but unfortunately, I just have to let ESPN do its thing. And it sucks, but I mean, I can sympathize with Ashwin, but I would never break my code.
Barred by his opponent from picking up a quarterback, Ashwin then turned to the rest of the league to garner support. Already, shouts of his praise had reached the group chat. A message saying, "Like this text if you support Ashwin," was liked by 9 out of the 12 league members. Did you feel pressure from members of the league to act in Ashwin's favor?
Yeah, I don't know why I'm being sued. If anything, I've been anything but supportive of Ashwin. Brian, Anish, everyone around me was pressuring me to act in favor of Ashwin. And I, looking back at it kind of regretfully, also acted in favor of Ashwin.
Akash was not the only league manager, though. At 4:03 p.m., Brian Meow Wu, a staunch ally of Ashwin's, made a 3-minute phone call to root in a goat in hopes to curry his favor. What did Brian ask of you on the afternoon of October 1st?
Yeah, so I actually received a call from Brian, which was highly unusual. I hate getting calls. And Brian was talking about upholding league integrity, not allowing Ashwin to add a QB, which I thought was really odd considering it came from Brian. But I heard him out just to see what his claims were.
Yes, I felt really strongly for this cause. I didn't want this corruption in the league to run rampant. So I tried to leverage some of my connections within the league. I called one of the league managers. I went out and pleaded for Ashwin, for his case against him. For 3 whole minutes, I tried to really convince him and try to strive towards justice and peace.
You know, my response was, first, Akash to deal with it, because I think he's better equipped as the LM to handle conflicts within the league, but also I thought we should just stay out of it in general.
Desperate for an option, Ashwin agreed to a trade with Brian, which consisted of Jarrett McKinnon for Daniel Jones. The latter was playing on Monday, with the hope that if the trade was pushed, at least Ashwin would be able to start someone. Even someone as trash as Daniel Jones. The trade was accepted, however, tragedy struck again.
We quickly approved the trade to send him Daniel Jones, but Ashwin up after up. You know, he started Watson knowing he's not going to play, and of course there was no way for him to add Daniel Jones to his starting lineup. So there's only so much that we can do. You know, we do our best to help out all the members in our league, and we can't do anything if the players don't want to win themselves. You know.
There is one question, though, that I believe every league member should ask themselves before an intense matchup. Do you believe in miracles?
Going end zone, Lutz Brown! It's Here is Walker for the touchdown. Detroit ball, which is different than when they thought. Jackson to Andrews for the touchdown. Here it is today. It's been all pass, and he's been in the backfield. He's got Brown. A.J. Brown cuts it back. Looking for the end zone. Inside the 15. Inside the 10. He's in. And the Eagles have their first lead.
Yes, in a shocking turn of events, Ashwin managed to win his game against Garish despite having no quarterback. The league was screaming praises of his name, and Ashwin had managed to gain a 2-2 record. How did it feel losing to Ashwin after all this drama?
I mean, again, my problem is not losing to Ashwin. I think he's a great competitor. I love matching up against him. He's a real fun guy to root for. And he won. He won fair and square. I don't feel any bad feelings about it. And I mean, when it comes down to just fantasy football, he did good. He won. I mean, he whooped me. He did very well, even without a quarterback. So I have no ill will towards Ashwin. And I'm just glad that the game was able to be played with no interference from the rest of the league, like how it should be played.
So how did it feel winning that game after all the turmoil you had to endure?
Man, absolute bliss.
A Cinderella story for Ashwin's team in Week 4. However, as we know, this story was far from over.
On October 3rd, the trade between Brian and Ashwin went through. It was a trade made in a time of battle, a time of war and uncertainty. However, now that the dust had settled, there was some confusion on the terms of the deal.
Could you tell me in your own words the terms of your trade deal?
Yeah, I think it was really unfortunate what happened. There seemed to be some miscommunication on both ends.
After I couldn't start Deshaun, he traded Daniel Jones with me, and I gave him Jerick McKinnon, right? So I thought we were cool. I thought afterwards, he would give me McKinnon back, I would give him Daniel Jones back.
I explicitly remember Ashwin texting me, I just want to do this trade to, quote, mess with Garish. I did not realize that what he was giving me in Jerick McKinnon was actually a crucial piece to his fantasy lineup, which, unrelated aside, is a pretty terrible player in my opinion.
But this man, he drops McKinnon, and he makes me use my own fab to get McKinnon back. And worst part is he ghosts me.
He texted me if he wanted to trade Daniel Jones back for McKinnon. And unfortunately, I didn't see his message until it was too late.
Right? Come on, man. That's not Glenn League baller, league manager, league owner material. And so this is why the case began.
Yeah, at this point, I think Ashwin had already made his mind up. He was already decided that he wanted to stake a war, and I let him know that I'm not one to be messed with.
But Brian, he presents himself in one way, but he's a little two-faced, so you gotta watch out when you deal with Mr. Brian Meow.
I think, Ashwin, you barked up the wrong tree. You need to go find another tree and bark up that one, because I'm not the one to be barked upward.
Brian, in your heart of hearts, when you look inwards, do you truly believe that you didn't betray Ashwin?
No, not at all. In fact, I think, if anything, I've been his closest friend throughout this whole thing, which is why finding the knife behind my back was more painful than anything I've ever experienced in my life.
Following the October 5th transactions, Ashwin began to hint at possible repercussions for the injustices he had endured. At 7:09 p.m., he released his response.
Hello to my fellow league owners. I've called a meeting today to address some rumors that have been circulating over these past couple of days. Very disappointed, didn't want it to come to this, but we have officially filed not one, but 2 grievances against 2 separate individuals in this league. So you may be wondering, okay, I kind of seen the rumors about one individual, and his name is Mr. Brian Meow Wu. Unfortunately, this week I was on the wrong end of Mr. Wu's Ponzi schemes. He's a master con artist. So we have officially filed a grievance against Mr. Brian Meow Wu. The next individual, maybe a little surprising, but I think it's been a long time coming, Mr. Akash S. Krishna, one of the league managers. The league manager position is supposed to have a leader with honor, strength, and dignity. That's slowly deteriorated. Seems like he's not taking the job seriously, but I think now is the time for change. And over these past couple months, dealing with Mr. Krishna has been a big headache. And I think my fellow league managers also agree with that point. So we have filed a grievance against Mr. Akash S. Krishna as well. I want league manager elections, but we'll see what happens. So that is my announcement. We have submitted the paperwork to the league offices today. It will become public tomorrow afternoon or evening. Wait, my final message to Mr. Wu and Mr. Krishna. Enough is enough. Lawyer up, and see you in court.
The fallout from this video was instantaneous. With the knowledge that not one, but 2 counts of grievances were being filed, the league descended into chaos. Public outrage was the highest it had been since Veto Gate 2, and shouts of support and dissent for Ashwin's video filled the chat. I reached out to several members of the league to understand how they felt after this shocking move from Ashwin.
Disgusted,
Ashwin and I go way back.
shocked,
Fight of all our camaraderie.
confused.
He stabs me in the back.
I mean, those are just some of the initial reactions that were going through my mind.
Ashwin is very valid in his court claims.
He should be fighting against Girish.
Yeah, I stand with Ashwin.
What was my reaction to Ashwin's video?
Yeah, I mean, Ashwin made some sizzling hot claims.
As someone who loves the drama, I don't really understand why Ashwin took shots at Akash and Brian.
I'm personally in support of his case.
To be honest, I wasn't really that surprised when I saw the video. Ashwin's a guy who's been beaten down by the league and just by fantasy football in general over the past 5 years.
Brian, maybe I understand. He's a little nuts sometimes.
You can really only kick a guy so many times before he's ready to fight back.
But Akash, I don't understand. The real target here is Girish.
You know, I'm willing to put elections on the table.
You know, I welcome the challenge.
I have no reason to doubt
I don't think he's going to get many votes.
that will have unanimous support going forward.
I think you have to win a little bit in the league in order to be an LM.
Ashwin, if you want to run,
It's about damn time someone stood up to the patriarchy.
let's do it next year.
I declare my support of Ashwin as the new dictator of GLB
But you know, I welcome the challenge. Ashwin's happy to run.
to replace the clear corruption present in the current regime.
2024 elections. Inala versus Krishna.
I looked at my phone. Someone sent a 5-minute fucking video. I opened it. I watched about 20 seconds and then I closed it.
Honestly, I have no idea what happened, and I really just didn't pay attention, so that's pretty much all I can say. It's lit.
Oh, the video that Ashwin sent, yeah, that was pretty crazy. But you know what's even crazier? The fact that I wasn't even bottom 3 in scoring, and I would have beaten a third of all possible opponents this entire season, and then I had to lose 10 freaking games in a row. How the fuck is that?
Trial date has yet to be set. However, councils are already being organized.
In a shocking leaked picture, it appears that Brian Wu may in fact be fleeing the country. He was detained by TSA for, quote, suspicious activity.
Once Brian went behind those doors, I really don't know what happened. I'm worried that they served certain cavities for devices that he might wanted to bring on the plane.
When asked for comment, Brian had this to say.
My lawyers have advised me to not speak on this event.
I met with Ashwin and the defendants one last time to hear their final words regarding the case.
So people think this is only a case against Brian, but it's also a case against Akash, right? He's always meddling with the inner workings of the GLB League. So I want to also put Akash in his place.
Ashwin, buddy. We go far back. There's no need to continue to do this. I'll forgive you right now if you throw away this lawsuit. it's costed us a lot of time, energy, and fab, but I'm willing to put that all aside and mend our friendship. Let's get back to good terms.
Final words on Brian. Someone needs to check Brian. He's been getting away with a lot these days.
Ashwin was someone that I considered, who I thought was a true friend and an ally within the league. And to hear him just throw all this away for Jerick McKinnon really has me considering the integrity behind his character. To Ashwin, I just want to say this. Watch your back. I'm coming for you. I hope you're locking your doors. To the rest of the league, I want to say that I hope we can move forward from this. I know this is a great group of guys, and I don't want this to be tainted by the devils and the lies being spread. Thank you very much.
And so I'm excited. Me and my lawyer have been working really hard, and we think we have a great case, and we're going to win this case. And I'm excited. I'm ready to cook, I'm ready to eat, and it's going to be fun.
The journey has been long and arduous, but the end is far from near. As we approach this junction of justice, we hope that the decision of the courts will hopefully bring peace to our league for at least 1 week. We hope to give you more details of the court case as they come out. But until next time, these have been Trials of Ashwin.
Everyone I know goes away in the end, and you could have it all. My empire of dirt, I will let you down. I will make you hurt. If I could start again, 1,000,000